Hey everybody, it's Ron from Pick Dawgz. This is Ron's Big Shot Breakdown. We're going to go over 5 college basketball games for Monday, February 19th, 2024. If you like what you see, make sure to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to put your college basketball picks in the comments section below. And if you're looking for my best bets, including my college basketball bank shop best bet, you can find those at the premium picks tab at pickdawgz.com. There's also a link in the description. Alrighty, let's get into it. Here's a new week in college hoops, starting with Monday's games. First up, we see Virginia and Virginia Tech. This one's going to be a 7 p.m. Eastern start time. It's going to be on ESPN. The Hokies coming off a blowout loss to North Carolina on Saturday. 96-81 was the final score. However, that changes here. Everything is put behind you when you play your rivals in Virginia, especially in Blacksburg, where Virginia Tech has played really well in the last couple of years with some outright W's. And even though Virginia has certainly been the stronger program in the last decade, this is usually a competitive game when it's played in Blacksburg. And Virginia Tech is playing with revenge in this one because they lost to Virginia earlier in the season. At Virginia, of course, that was a 65-57 final score. So still a pretty competitive game. Virginia, a very, very strong defensive program. They've been one of the best defensive teams in college basketball the last decade plus. However, the offense not always there. And we saw that in the game against Wake Forest, only scoring 49 points. It was still enough for a win, 49-47. But the offense, while they take care of the basketball and they're pretty good from the three-point line, they have really struggled in terms of getting second-chance looks. They don't get many offensive rebounds. They rarely get to the free throw line. And when they do, they're ranked 350th in the nation in free throw shooting. And they're 262nd in two-point field goal percentage. So the offense tough to trust, especially on the road. And that's where we've seen Virginia struggle mostly, is on the road. They have 3 true road losses in ACC play to teams that are inferior. NC State, Notre Dame by 22 points. They also lost at a neutral site against Wisconsin and a true road game against Memphis. To me, I just think with the Hokies going to be way up for this game, have a huge home court advantage playing in this rivalry game. I think the Hokies bounce back. Next up, we see William & Mary and Charleston. This one's going to be 8 p.m. Eastern. It's going to be on CBS Sports Network. These teams played not too long ago. It was a pretty close contest. It was an 84-83 final score back on February 3rd. That was at William & Mary. But unfortunately for William & Mary, this team is dealing with a lot of injuries right now. A few of their starters and key role players have been out for quite some time, and it's tough to trust them on the road in this game. I think Charleston, the pace of play that this team has on offense, 39th in average possession length, makes it really tough for opposing defenses. And while William & Mary's defense has actually been okay recently, giving up less than 70 points in 3 straight games, I still think this is one of the weakest defenses, not just in the conference, but in the country. Shot quality-wise, not very good, and they're ranked 343rd already in adjusted defensive efficiency. They're pretty good in the defensive glass, but Charleston's a really good offensive rebounding team, so they're going to be put to the test in this game. And like I said, that pace of play, man, it is really tough, especially when you're playing at Charleston. This team has a great home court advantage. They only have they have 2 home losses on the season, but outside of that, a lot of double-digit wins at home. I think we see another one in this game. The Charleston defense is not great. We saw them give up 80-plus points in that first meeting between these teams. But like I said, the injuries for William & Mary, they're not a great shooting team to begin with. 288th in three-point shooting, 265th in effective field goal percentage. They don't get a lot of second-chance looks, and Charleston's strong on the glass to begin with. So, to me, I just don't see the opportunities for William & Mary for 40 minutes in this game. The first matchup was close. I don't think this one's going to be. I'm going to take Charleston and lay the points. Next up, we see Southern and Texas Southern in the SWAC. This one's going to be an 8:30 Eastern start time. Now, right around this time of year last year, people were giving up on Texas Southern. They were struggling in conference play. And, at the beginning of the season, they struggled in non-conference play. But last year, right around this, I would say, February 18th, Texas Southern was 10-17 overall, 6-8 in conference play, a losing conference record. And, in fact, they actually ended the regular season with 3 losses to Jackson State, Alcorn, and Prairie View. They were 7-11 to end conference play. But, of course, as Texas Southern usually does, they go on a run in the conference tournament, and they ran the table and made it back to the NCAA tournament. They've won the SWAC 3 straight years. This is still a team I never want to give up on in this conference, and I like this matchup for them against Southern. Give Southern credit. This team's on a nice win streak, 7-game win streak, and they're doing it mostly recently without their top player and Joseph. He's been out for the last few games, but now I do think this is where we see Southern start to struggle. Fundamentally, still not the best team. They do force a lot of turnovers. Texas Southern, more so than most teams in the SWAC, does a better job of taking care of the basketball. They still turn the ball over quite a bit, but I would say better than the conference average. And, Texas Southern has a big advantage on the glass in this game, on the offensive rebounding side especially. They should get a lot of second chance looks. This offense, like many teams in the SWAC, is tough to watch at certain points, but the defense is very, very strong, as we expect from this program. They force a lot of tough shots. They're strong against the perimeter. And I think Texas Southern at home here picks up a very, very much needed win to get that confidence back on their side. They've lost the last 2 games to Bethune-Cookman and Grambling State. But at home here, I like their chances. Give me Texas Southern in this one. Next up, we'll stay in the SWAC as Florida A&M takes on Alcorn State. This one's going to be also 8:30 Eastern. Now, Alcorn State, we've made a good amount of money on this team, in overall this season, especially in conference play. And we took them against Mississippi Valley back on February 12th, last Monday. They won that game and covered for us 72-55. I'm backing them in this spot as well. I mean, they played Florida A&M back on January 27th, another game where we took Alcorn, and they won that one 76-67. They won that game by 9 points, despite Florida A&M shooting 12 of 25 from 3, 48%. Alcorn also had a nice day from the perimeter, but they only made 6 threes in total. So for the Braves to win that game by 9 points on the road with FAMU shooting 48% from 3, it tells me, Alcorn was getting a lot of sustainable buckets in the paint. They were 24 of 41 from 2-point range. That was 59%. FAMU only 36% from 2. So for me, if the shots aren't falling from the perimeter for the Rattlers in this game, which they're a decent 3-point shooting team, but nowhere near 48%, I think they're really in trouble, especially on the road. Alcorn, the much better fundamental team, and just they're playing the better basketball as of late. They started conference play; they were 1-3, but now they're 7-5 in the SWAC. They're on a 3-game win streak. They've won 6 of the last 8, and at home here, I think they put together a statement win. Give me Alcorn. I'm going to lay the points. And the final game we're going to talk about for the Monday card in college basketball, it's going to be the game of the night by far, Iowa State and Houston. This one's going to be 9 p.m. Eastern on ESPN. Had to talk about this game on the breakdown. 2 top 10 teams going at it in the Big 12, and Houston's actually playing with revenge in this game. They lost at Iowa State back on January 9th. It was a 4-point game, 57-53. We were on the Cyclones in that ball game, and we've been on them quite a few times here on the Bank Shot Breakdown, but I don't love the spot for Iowa State here. It's tough to go against them. They've made us a lot of money this year, but Iowa State, I'd much rather take them at home and, in a few spots on the road, but not at Houston. Iowa State, of their losses in conference play, all of them have been on the road. They lost to Oklahoma, BYU in a blowout, and Baylor. And I think this is going to be one of those games where they lose by double digits. I mean, Houston has won every single home game this year. They've only had 3 losses in general this season, and all those games were on the road. And of their home victories, every single one of them have been by double digits. Even the conference games we saw, most recently against Texas, it was an 82-61 final score, a blowout win for the Cougars, and they've won 79-63, 74-52, 15-point win against UCF at home. They beat Texas Tech by 23 at home. Just dominant at home. The defense is super strong. The number 1 in the nation in adjusted defensive efficiency. Iowa State, I think, can compete there defensively, but the offense, I don't think, has the answers for 40 minutes. Give me Houston in this one. I'm going to lay the points to end the night. And that's it. Those are the games for Monday in college hoops. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe, and put your college basketball picks in the comments section below. Again, if you're looking for my best bets, you can find those at Pickdawgz Premium. As always, this is Ron Romanelli. Good luck.